Students, so today I will start a new chapter, that is chapter 4 of science, class 8, and the name of the chapter is materials, metals and non-metals. This is a part 1 of my lecture, and before I start we have to understand some basic concept behind it. So in this chapter we will understand about the materials, metals and non-metals. So in metals we understand what are the metals, different examples of the metals, their characteristics or their physical characteristics, their chemical characteristics, their reactions. And in case of the non-metal it is same, we will understand their physical chemical characteristics and different reactions, and how to identify different metals on the basis of their physical characteristics or chemical characteristics. We will understand this in this chapter. Okay, so before I start this chapter, you can understand this the image is there. It is a shiny image of silver coins are there, and one bar is there, silver bar. So it is very rare and it is precious metal, coinage metal. It is in ancient time it is even now, even few 100 years ago, different countries use this silver to make the coins. Nowadays it is very costly and rare. It is found rarely in earth, this kind of silver and materials like silver. So we are right now not using this kind of, because it is not there are a lot of reactions in the nature with silver. So it will corrode and it will decay sometime, and it will react, and the shininess or the reaction, due to the reaction, the weight will be reduced and the silver will not be there. So it will be reduced down into something else. So that is why silvers are not used right now. We use new type of alloy and some other coinage metals are introduced. So that is there. Now let us start this chapter. So before I understand the concept behind this metals and non-metals, we have to understand what are the materials. So what is the definition of the material? The material is a substance or mixture of substances that constitutes an object. Okay, understand that. And materials can be pure or impure, living or non-living matter. So anything can be material depending on the their constituents. Okay, so materials can be classified on the basis of their physical and chemical properties, or their geological origin or biological function. So maybe we have some stones. That stone is formed by different inorganic process, means it is not non-living. Okay, so that when we found that stone, we have to classify that stone according to the geological classification. Means like we have to understand what are the minerals that is there. It is formed by that mineral. So we have to classify it according to the mineralogical classification as well as the petrological classification. So that means जियोलॉजिकल, मतलब इसका जो भूतात्विक जो इसमें जो जैसे फॉर्म हुआ है, जैसे ये बना है, उसका बनावट देख के, उसका कैसे वो बना था अर्थ में, उसको देख के हम लोग उसको क्लासीफाई कर सकते हैं. नाउ कम्स लाइक डिफरेंट मेटल भी वही है कि मेटल पहले क्या होता है, ओर में रहता है. ओर मतलब जो रॉ फॉर्म में पत्थर के जैसा, उसको पिघला के, उसको मेल्ट करके, वी विल मेल्ट दैट रॉक, एंड that metal is there in that rock. When we melt that rock or crush that, then melt that rock, it is the ore is formed. Okay, first the metal is actually found as a rock, then it is as a pure character, the ore is found. So we'll use that thing. And there are some materials are there which is they have biological function, for an example, different like trees are the prime example of this kind of materials. Like biological functions means like some trees, the wood that we use every time for any kind of construction or a different things like shading sometimes. So that wood is like, it is the nature of that wood is, it is a biological, right? So some organism is there. Plant is organism, right? So the origin is that biological origin. but when it is died, it is kind of inorganic, it is kind of non-biological. So you understand that is the difference behind it is that according to their physical chemical properties we can classify the materials. So what is the material science? So material science is a study of materials and their application. You understand that what is a material science? It is a study and application, means like whatever materials that are present. So according to the that their origin and their characteristics, we can classify that, and with this classification and the study of that material, it is known as material science. And also we try to apply the usefulness of that material, so that is there. Now let us come to this part. What is metal? So what is metal? Metal are those materials which possess the characteristics of being hard, shiny, malleable, fusible, ductile, etc. are termed as metal. It means materials which possess the characteristics of hard, it is shiny, it is malleable, it is ductile, etc. It is formed as metal. Few example of metal, it is very common metals we have to provide you. The examples that should be very common metals like iron, gold, silver, aluminium, zinc, copper, there is also manganese, magnesium. These are the metal, right? Now this you understand that. So metal, every day we actually come across with different metals. Like for our, like from morning, starting from morning we get up and then we'll use a switch to switch on or switch off the fans. So when we switch on or switch off, the electricity passes through a wire. That wire is a copper. So you understand, from the starting to the end of the day we are using that metal every time. So that is a basic thing. It is useful for us. Now let us understand the physical properties of the metals. So first one is the malleability. Malleability means the metals, it is a property of the metal which allows them to be beaten into a thin sheet. Due to presence of this property, the shape of the iron nail and aluminium wire can be changed on beating. Silver foil can be used for decoration of sweets, and aluminium foils can be used for wrapping food, and also this malleable property, we can use different metals in and create different sheets. So इसका मतलब होता है कि कोई भी एक मेटल है इसमें ये प्रॉपर्टी रहेगा. दैट ये प्रॉपर्टी को क्या बोलते हैं? इसको बोलते हैं मेलिएबिलिटी. मेलिएबिलिटी मीन्स कोई भी एक चीज़ को, कोई भी एक मेटल को पीट के एकदम पतला बना देना. मतलब पतला मतलब एकदम पेपर के जैसा, थिन शीट बना देना. ठीक है, तो इसको बोलते हैं मेलिएबिलिटी. यू अंडरस्टैंड दैट. Now let us understand this. Now you understand this is a prime example of malleability. Now you know this is a kind of one metal, and this metal is actually first it is beaten up and it is formed, one sheet like structure is there. Then we can rotate that, actually create a cylindrical shape of that metal. Okay, and then also we use that metal for different like glass. You understand the water container that is there, jug or anything that can be formed by this kind of things. Okay, and also we use this metal for different purposes. So this is a prime example for property of the metal is there. First one is the malleability. You understand, you understand that one. So next is the conductivity. Conductivity, it means the property of metal which allows the heat and electricity to pass through it easily. That means whenever you touch a part of one metal and you just touch that part, and then you another part of that metal you just keep it somewhere like in a exposed area of sun, or maybe you heated up that another part of that metal. What it will understand, after few minutes you will have some heat will pass through that metal rod, and your hand, it will feels like it is somehow it is got burned, or maybe it feels uncanniness, and then when it is red hot you cannot touch that, or you cannot hold that rod for longer period of time. And this property means एक पार्ट में आपने उसको पकड़ा है जहाँ पे एक हीट सोर्स है, राइट. हीट सोर्स मतलब जहाँ पे एक जगह पे गर्म है, कोई भी आग जहाँ पे है, और वहाँ पे अपने रॉड को पकड़ा है, और दूसरे पार्ट को आपने अपने हाथ में पकड़ा है, उसको हाथ से पकड़ के उस जगह में आप गर्म कर रहे हो. तो क्या होगा, जो हीट है वो उसमें वो जो पार्ट है वो एंड को वो गर्म कर देगा, एंड दैट हीट विल ट्राई टू ट्रांसमिट हीट फ्रॉम दैट पार्ट इनटू योर हैंड. सो आपको बहुत ज़्यादा गर्मी, मतलब बहुत ज़्यादा गर्म हो जाएगा, और उसके बाद क्या होगा कि आप उसको ज़्यादा देर तक उसको टच नहीं कर पाओगे, उसको फेंक देना होगा, क्योंकि उसमें क्या है कि ये प्रॉपर्टी है, ये इस प्रॉपर्टी को बोला जाता है कंडक्टिविटी ऑफ हीट. ओके, थर्मल कंडक्टिविटी बोलते हैं इसको. दैट इज़ देयर. अनदर थिंग इज इलेक्ट्रिसिटी. आप देखोगे कहीं भी कि कोई भी पार्ट में जहाँ पे आपका एक की कोई भी जगह में इलेक्ट्रिकल सोर्स है, उसमें अगर आपने रॉड एक डाला है एक कोई भी जगह में, मान लो कि एक प्लग पॉइंट है, कभी मत करना इस एक्सपेरिमेंट को, बट अगर प्लग पॉइंट से कोई वायर अगर निकला है और उस वायर के आपने अगर कोई भी मेटल रॉड को एक जगह से पकड़ा है, दूसरी जगह में आपने एक लाइट को उस मेटल रॉड के एक पार्ट में उसमें आपने उसको एक छोटा सा एलईडी उसमें फिक्स कर दिया है, तो आप देखोगे कि अगर वो मेटल वही आयरन होगा या कॉपर होगा या मान लो कि सिल्वर होगा, या जो इलेक्ट्रिकल आपका कंडक्टिविटी शो करता है, ये सब जो भी मेटल है, दैट मेटल विल एक्चुअली दैट लाइट विल लाइट अप अगेन. सो when you switch off that plug we will understand, it will again just stop lighting up the thing. That it means the metal allows electricity as well as heat to transmit through it easily. So this property is known as the conductivity. So metal shows also the conductivity of, okay. Then ductility means it is the property of metal which allows them to be drawn into the wires. Example है metals like aluminum and copper, it can be melt and then it is some with the industrial process with some small scale it is made into one small wire, small part of the thread like structure it is formed. So this property of metal is ductility. That means any metal which can be drawn into small wire, means any wire shape it can be formed. This kind of metals are known as ductile metal. Examples are this prime example can be aluminum and copper, because in nature we use this kind of things. In even sometimes what we use is we use silver, where there is a high conductivity is required, we use silver for that, because silver the resistance is low in case of silver than it is copper में थोड़ा सा resistance ज़्यादा होता है silver से, ठीक है. तो silver फिर भी for the economic reason we use the copper, you understand that. Otherwise we can use silver, but what will happen when you use silver, you will see now and then someone will take your wires off, and it will be someone will like the thieves will come and take your wires away. But because it is a precious metal ना, you understand that silver is so precious. So ऐसा ही होगा, तो understand that. So this is a one image, it will show us clearly that this is the electrical conductivity and this is the ductility of the metals. So one part you can understand, एक लाइट जल रहा है एंड इलेक्ट्रिकल कंडक्टिविटी देखो लिखा है उसमें, तो इसमें डिफरेंट मेटल्स है, जैसे कि एल्युमिनियम है, आयरन है. तो कौन द मेटल्स विच आर रिटन हेयर लाइक एल्युमिनियम, आयरन, देन गोल्ड, कॉपर एंड सिल्वर. सो इसका जो इलेक्ट्रिकल कंडक्टिविटी है धीरे धीरे बढ़ रहा है. देखो सबसे कम है एल्युमिनियम, उसके बाद आयरन आएगा, उसके बाद गोल्ड आएगा, उसके बाद आपका कॉपर रहेगा. तो कॉपर से भी ज़्यादा है आपका सिल्वर, बट ड्यू टू द इकोनॉमिक रीजन वी यूज द कॉपर वायर, नॉट सिल्वर वायर. ओके, अंडरस्टैंड दैट. देन डक्टिलिटी, लाइक दिस कॉपर मेटल, इट इज एज ए mineral form, or like the metal, like the metallic rocks which are looks like this, and it melt down and then form a copper wire like this. So it is an example of that ductility. Now sonorous means whenever you struck a metal, it will create a sound. It is a kind of रिंगिंग साउंड इट विल प्रोड्यूस. सो एक यू शेप का कोई भी एक मेटल ले लो, या फिर कोई भी जगह में एक मान लो कि तुम्हारे पास कोई रॉड है, हाँ मेटल का कोई स्टेनलेस स्टील का रॉड है, मेटल का रॉड है, उसको एक दूसरे पत्थर से दूसरे एक रॉड से थोड़ा सा भी स्ट्रक करोगे तो एकदम रिंगिंग साउंड आएगा. दैट इज नोन एज अ सोनोरस प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ मेटल. तो ये मेटल में ये प्रॉपर्टी आपको दिखेगा. नाउ lustrous means whenever you find any metal का surface से light will reflect. Okay, so it is a property of metal which makes them shine and their structure are capable of reflecting light. तो जो surface जो होता है, the metal surface is always shiny, and why it is shiny? Because the surface of the metal is reflecting light. So there is some form of light somewhere. The source is there. Light will struck to the surface of the metal, and then it will reflect back on our eyes. So you understand that. So that is why the metals are also lustrous. So let us understand that in this image. So this is one bell is there. Whenever this bell is made out of metal, always understand that why it is made of metal. So because the sonorous property of the metal, when you will strike that bell, it will create a bell ringing sound, right? So that is why. And lustrous, see, this is a shiny surface of some metal. It is kind of a rock. It is not a rock, it is a metal. So maybe iron or any stainless steel or any other things are there though, but you will understand that this is a shine, it is kind of mirror. So the light will reflect from that surface, so that it is known as a lustrous property of the metal. So understand in chapter, maybe in class 6 you will also understand this clearly. Now this is a luster of silver. You understand that every part of the silver, it is reflecting light. Some surfaces are there which is more shiny than other, but the thing is that whenever you use this kind of metal, it will always shows this lustrous property. Now some metals are there which is like you understand, all the elements are there. It is actually classified, and also it is noted down in one tabular or one form of table, and that table is known as periodic table, which is actually according to the atomic number or according to their characteristics and also their mass, and everything is noted down on the periodic table. So in the periodic table, all the metals or non-metals are there. So in periodic table, the leftest part, and also in up to some certain up to the left, all the left elements are left part of the element of this periodic tables are metal, and righter part of the periodic table that are non-metal. But there is some exceptions are also there in case of the metalloids, and in case of the transition metals, and in case of the ideal gas also there, as inert gases are also there, and also hydrogen, because hydrogen is found in the non-metallic part, but hydrogen is kind of the property it is shown, it is a positive characteristics always shown like metal. So we'll understand that in later of the chapter. So here we have to understand that metal like sodium and potassium are very soft. You find that it is very soft because you can cut that with a knife. Okay, you understand that. But the thing is that they are very reactive. They are very soft, but they are very reactive. You cannot expose them easily, and you cannot store them in water. You understand what will happen if you store that. A small bead of sodium or potassium, not potassium, sodium will create one thing. Violent reaction will take place for the potassium also. But in case of sodium, what will happen is small beads of sodium, you drop that on the water. What will it will react easily, and it will create a bombardment there. It is create an explosion there instantly with a small bead of that sodium. It is violently reacting with water. mercury, which is a only metal which is found as a liquid in room temperature. So understand, it is the concept behind that. So these are the exceptions of the metal, you understand that. So not always that metals are hard, or it is hard means it is a solid structures are also observed. Sometimes what happen, metals can be liquid in room temperature, that is that in case of mercury, and other some other metals are also there like that. And in case of some metal which is not hard, even is soft metal, you cannot classify them according to their hardness. It is like very soft, you can cut them using some knife or whatever instrument. So you understand that. Next is non-metal. Non-metal means those materials which do not possess the characteristics of the metals are termed as non-metal. Means they don't have the hardness, they don't have the lustrous property or electrical or thermal conductivity, and they don't produce sonorous sound. These are the things they don't possess, that's why it is non-metal. So materials like coal, sulfur are soft. Coal means koila, sulfur, this is sulfur is one element is there, sulfur. It is very soft and dull in appearance, so luster तो नहीं है, very dull है appearance में, and also soft है, hard नहीं है. So they break easily and they break down into powdery mass on tapping with hammer. तो hammer तो थोड़ा सा मारोगे, कोई आवाज़ नहीं आता, अगर उसको स्ट्रक करोगे तो सोनोरस और सब रिंगिंग साउंड भी नहीं आएगा. तो हीट एंड इलेक्ट्रिसिटी का कॉन्टैक्ट भी नहीं करता है. तो दिस इज दैट इज वाई द इट इज नॉन मेटल. बट फ्यू एग्जाम्पल्स ऑफ नॉन मेटल्स आर सल्फर, कार्बन, ऑक्सीजन. ठीक है, सल्फर, कार्बन, ऑक्सीजन, नाइट्रोजन, एंड दिस आर द डिफरेंट गैसेस मोस्टली ये इसमें आता है नॉन मेटल में. सो इसमें देख लो आप लोग के एग्जाम्पल, दिस आर द एग्जाम्पल, कॉमन एग्जाम्पल ऑफ नॉन मेटल. लाइक सल्फर इज देयर, कलर भी देख लो ऐसा होता है. Iron is there, carbon is there, red phosphorus is there, and also you will understand that there are some. So let us understand using some other things. Let me. So this is a periodic table. Now you understand that this periodic table, all this part, all these things, like up to this part till period 12, and also it is there till period 11 and 12. The same, there are some metalloids are also there up to 11 and 12 periods. 11 and 12 groups are there. So group up this 13, 14, 15 and 16 groups, these are the non-metal, and starting from 1, 2, 3 and up to 11, 12, these are the metals. So understand those, there are some exceptions, so you understand that. And in case of this group 18, this is the inert gases. So these are the helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon. These are the inert gases. But in case of the periodic table, in case of the metal, you understand this, starting from that lithium, hydrogen is also there. So lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium, and beryllium, magnesium, all these are the metals. Because see, this is vanadium, chromium, titanium, iron, cobalt, nickel, copper, zinc, all these are metal. You understand that. And in case of the environment, cadmium is very important. Cadmium poisoning very, very common. Arsenic is very common. Arsenic poison is also there. So these are some, in some cases the metals and also non-metals are also very important for the environment. Now chemical, we have to understand the chemical properties of metal and non-metal. So first we have to understand the reaction of metals with oxygen. So what happens in case of the reaction with oxygen? So any metal, it react with oxygen and form metal oxides. So it is very common, means like iron and oxygen react together to form iron oxides. Iron oxide means ferrous oxides, like or it is if you burn a magnesium ribbon in open air, it will form magnesium oxide. Okay, so this is very useful thing. Now in case of metal, generally when metals are react with oxygen, they are form metallic oxide. This is also I already discussed that. So these metallic oxides are basic in nature. So this, what is the nature of this metallic oxide? They are basic in nature. Okay, we come to that, how we can identify that is a basic property. So we will understand that. So rusting of iron, right? Rusting of iron. What are the things that are required for rusting? So not only if you expose iron somewhere, it will create rust, like any nail or any iron rod or any iron board, whatever it is, it will create rust. How that will create rust? Because normal oxygen will not only create normal reaction with oxygen will not create rust. What you record is that you required moist air. Then that moist air is actually, the formula for moist air is H2O, water. Okay, so that is there. So water, oxygen and iron, it will create iron oxide, Fe2O3. So from now on you understand different elements on the basis of their symbol. So you have to understand different symbol. We'll come to that. What are the different symbols? So iron means the ferrum, ठीक है, ferrum means iron, एंड इसको ये लैटिन फॉर्म में है, तो इसको आपको आइडेंटिफाई करना पड़ेगा, ठीक है. तो आयरन के साथ ऑक्सीजन का रिएक्शन विथ वाटर, मतलब इसके मॉइस्ट एयर के साथ रिएक्ट हो रहा है, तो आपको आयरन ऑक्साइड मीन्स Fe2O3 फॉर्म करेगा. अच्छा, सेकेंड थिंग इज इफ ए कॉपर वेसल इज लेफ्ट ओपन इन प्रेजेंस ऑफ मॉइस्ट एयर, देन ए डल ग्रीन कोटिंग विल बी ऑब्जर्व ऑन इट. अगर कॉपर को आप अगर मॉइस्ट एयर में ओपन एयर में रख दोगे तो क्या होगा, कॉपर के साथ मॉइस्ट एयर H2O and also oxygen react with that, and also not only oxygen, carbon dioxide was also there. So the green material is this copper will create a green coating, and this green material is a mixture of the copper hydroxide and copper carbonate. How that is formed? By this following reaction. You can understand this is a copper material, what copper metal or metal sheets is there. It in presence of moist air H2O, and carbon dioxide is also there, because in air carbon dioxide is there, it is present. You understand 78% is nitrogen, 20% 20 or 21% is oxygen, rest of it 0.03 is your carbon dioxide, and rest is this moist air, that means that is there. And apart from moist air we have different inert gases that are there, and also other gases of sulfur, gases of other elements that are also there, which comes under only 0.1% is there. It comprises of carbon dioxide and all other greenhouse gases, inert gases, everything. So you understand that. So this reaction will takes place like carbon, this copper, then moist air in presence of carbon dioxide and oxygen create copper hydroxide and copper carbonate. So the mixture of copper hydroxide and copper carbonate, it turns the normal copper into a greenish coating. It will create a greenish color on that surface of that copper. One prime example for this is Statue of Liberty. How? Let us understand that. Now see, when the Statue of Liberty was constructed during 1880s, it was like that. The color was like that. The copper color, like a brown color is there. But right now, nowadays, from 1910, the copper turns into bluish. This bluish color is there. Right now if you go and visit that place, you will find the color is like that, greenish color. So why this is happening? Because of the fact that copper hydroxide and copper carbonate is present in this material. Previously it was copper coating is there, but right now it is formed as copper carbonate and copper hydroxide. So it is a mixture of both of that. Now let us understand the nature of the rust. So is the rust acidic in nature or basic in nature? We have to understand. So we have to collect this spoonful of rust, means any metal which is means any iron that is there, it is filled with rust. So we scratch that surface of the rust and collect that rust into spoon, then dissolve it in a very little amount of water. Well, what we will do, we will dissolve that rust into water, then rust remains suspended in the water. We have to shake that test tube, then we have to test that solution with the red and blue litmus paper. So what we'll use the red litmus paper. So the solution, will use one litmus paper and touch on that solution. What will happen after we touch that solution on that touch the litmus paper on that solution? After some period of time, that red litmus paper will turn into blue. So that means the metallic oxide, means the rust is a metallic oxide, and this metallic oxide is a basic in nature, because if it was acidic, then it will not turn the red litmus paper blue. What it will do, it will create a blue litmus paper, it will turn a blue litmus paper into red, but it will not do that. So that is why we will understand it is a basic in nature. That means if we understand the pH scale, in pH scale it will always comes less than 7. Understand that, sorry, more than 7, you understand that. In pH scale it always show the value more than 7, and if it is acidic, it will if it was acidic, then it will show the value of 7, but it will not show, because the litmus paper it turns into blue. That means it is a basic, right? Now for non-metal, generally non-metals also produce oxide when reacted with oxygen, but in contrast to metals, these oxides are acidic in nature. So non-metal का जो oxides होता है वो acidic होता है nature में. तो एक experiment करके हम लोग देख सकते हैं कैसे हो सकता है. So what we have to do, a small amount of powder sulfur is taken into what, a deflagrating spoon, a small spoon that has a very big projection or wire like projection to hold that somewhere. It is known as deflagrating spoon. Then we have to heat that deflagrating spoon which is filled with sulfur, right? Then as soon as sulfur start burning, whenever you find that sulfur start burning, you introduce a spoon into a gas jar. You need a gas jar also, and what you will do, that deflagrating spoon will have to be, we have to introduce the spoon into a gas jar or gas tumbler. उस गैस जार के अंदर में स्पून को रख दो, जो जल रहा था, दैट इज बर्निंग, राइट, उसके अंदर में उसको रख दो और कवर कर लो. तो कवर द टम्बलर विद द लिड एंड टू इंश्योर द गैस प्रोड्यूस डज नॉट एस्केप. तो उसमें देखोगे धुआं हो जाएगा, गैस प्रोड्यूस हो गया. नाउ द रिएक्शन, व्हाट विल हैपन नाउ. आफ्टर सम टाइम रिमूव द स्पून. अब स्पून को हटा दो वहाँ से. अब उसमें जो देखो धुआं हो गया है जो टम्बलर में या फिर गैस जार में, थोड़ा सा पानी ऐड कर दो. वाटर, यू विल हैव टू ऐड वाटर ऑन दैट स्मॉल गैस जार. तो गैस जार के अंदर में जैसे ही वाटर ऐड करोगे क्या होगा, पहले हम लोग को अंडरस्टैंड करना पड़ता है क्या रिएक्शन हुआ था. द रिएक्शन टेक्स प्लेस ऑन दैट स्मॉल डिफ्लैग्रेटिंग स्पून इज दैट इट वॉज सल्फर एंड इन प्रेजेंस ऑफ ऑक्सीजन मीन्स एयर में उसको बर्न किया गया है. तो क्या फॉर्म होगा S+O2. दैट मीन्स वो क्या फॉर्म करेगा SO2 फॉर्म कर रहा था उसमें. तो ये जो आपके पास टम्बलर या फिर गैस जार है इसके अंदर में क्या फॉर्म किया SO2 गैस फॉर्म किया. सल्फर डाइऑक्साइड गैस फॉर्म किया गैस जार के अंदर में. नाउ व्हेन यू ऐड वाटर सल्फर डाइऑक्साइड के साथ वाटर ऐड करेगा एंड वाटर जैसे ही ऐड करते हुए वो जो रिएक्ट कर रहा है वो रिएक्शन में क्या होगा तो आपको उसको शेक करना पड़ेगा. थोड़ा सा उसको जार को शेक करो, टम्बलर को शेक करो और उसमें देखो थोड़ा सा नीचे में लिक्विड फॉर्म हो गया उसका. और वो एक्चुअली में क्या होता है वो आपका सल्फ्यूरस एसिड होगा. वो SO2 मतलब सल्फर डाइऑक्साइड के साथ वाटर H2O रिएक्ट करके उसमें आपका H2SO3 फॉर्म हो रहा था. दैट मीन्स सल्फ्यूरस ऑक्साइड एसिड फॉर्म होगा. ये आपका एक एसिड है. दैट मीन्स एक नॉन मेटल के साथ ऑक्सीजन का रिएक्शन से ऑक्साइड फॉर्म हुआ. अब ये ऑक्साइड का जो नेचर है हमको देखना पड़ेगा. तो लिक्विड फॉर्म में उसको आना पड़ेगा. जैसे ही आप उसको वाटर ऐड करोगे तो सल्फ्यूरस एसिड फॉर्म किया. अब इस एसिड का सच में एसिड है कि नहीं, इट इज रियली एन एसिड और नॉट, वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट. तो हाउ वी कैन अंडरस्टैंड दैट? व्हाट वी हैव टू डू, वी हैव टू take a small sample of that sulfurous acid and we have to use blue litmus paper on that. So when we touch the surface of that sulfurous acid, a blue litmus paper is touch on that surface, what will happen, this blue litmus paper will turn into red color. So generally that means, that proves that oxides of metal is acidic in nature. But in case of the oxides of non-metal are acidic in nature, but in case of the metal, when oxides of metal are basic in nature. You understand, that is the main difference between these two. Now whatever I've told you, these two are the diagrammatic representation of those things. Like reaction with iron. अब ये जो आपका वही टेस्ट ट्यूब के अंदर में जो दिख रहा है आपको, दिस थिंग, दिस इज नोन एज द ये आयरन ऑक्साइड. दिस इज आयरन ऑक्साइड रस्ट. In presence of moist air, it rust is formed. So we took that rust and dissolved that into the test tube. Then small sample is taken into the petri dish, small part, this dish, and also we'll add that add the red litmus paper on that and see it turns blue. It's turning into blue, but right now you cannot see that, but it is turning into blue color, right? And in next experiment, what we understand, we took a sulfur in this deflagrating spoon and we burn that, and what will happen, this sulfur will burn and then it will create lot of gas, sulfur dioxide gas, and then we'll add water on that and it will form sulfurous acid. And the nature of that oxide is actually acidic in nature, but in case of this rust, in oxide of metal, it is basic in nature. That is the main difference between these two, metal and non-metal. So reaction with water, in case of metal, water react with metal, it is very vigorously react with metal. Like in case of sodium, whenever you add sodium into water, it will create a bomb, a blast, explosion. So never do that, okay? So to avoid that, the sodium is always stored into kerosene. मिट्टी का जो तेल होता है केरोसिन में सोडियम को स्टोर किया जाता है. इट इज केरोसिन इज नॉट reactive with sodium, that is why it is stored there. While some other metals react very slowly with water in case of iron. आप आयरन के साथ वाटर को अगर थोड़ा सा रखोगे तो बहुत धीरे धीरे रिएक्ट करेगा, और जो रास्ट भी होता है वो भी धीरे धीरे होता है बहुत दिन के बाद. तो इंस्टेंटली रिएक्शन नहीं होगा. फॉर बट इन केस ऑफ नॉन मेटल में क्या होता है, डू नॉट रिएक्ट विथ वाटर. नॉन मेटल कभी भी रिएक्ट नहीं करता है वाटर के साथ, बट देयर आर सम नॉन मेटल विच आर क्वाइट रिएक्टिव इन एयर, लाइक फॉस्फोरस विच इज़ वेरी रिएक्टिव एंड केप्ट इन वाटर टू प्रिवेंट एक्सप्लोशन. सो वाइट फॉस्फोरस क्या होता है, वाइट फॉस्फोरस अगर एयर में रखोगे तो तुरंत उसमें आग लग जाएगी, मतलब वो दैट विल स्टार्ट बर्निंग इंस्टेंटली. तो दैट टू प्रिवेंट दैट वाटर में उसको स्टोर कर किया जाता है. ठीक है, तो वाटर के साथ उसका रिएक्शन नहीं होता है फॉस्फोरस का. नाउ तो मैंने पहले आपको फिर अगेन आई एम रिफ्रेजिंग दैट. तो मेटल्स आर देयर, नॉन मेटल्स आर देयर, बट इन केस ऑफ सम एलिमेंट्स they possess both the characteristics of metal and non-metal, or they have a different kind of properties. So metalloids are the element that has properties that are intermediate between those of metal and non-metal, means it shows characteristics of metals and non-metal. You understand that? So these are the metalloids. So what are the example of metalloids? So examples of metalloids are silicon, boron, antimony, germanium. These are the prime example of metalloids. So with that note, we come to a end of this lecture. Hope you like that, or if you have any suggestion or if you have any doubt, you can ask me any question. So take care of yourself, wear a mask, and don't go in the crowd or maintain the social distancing nowadays. Thank you.